Dearly redheaded, we are choosing consciousness today to get through this thing called grief. Interesting word, grief. It means love, which makes for a mighty good joke, but I'm here to tell you, there's nothing else. Just joy. And if the big picture tends to bring you down, go crazy once your life goes. Woo!
So, I'm still with Melissa Cox, and I said I had a Melissa story. Oh, I don't have her. Oh, do I have her?
You're here. I'm here.
Oh, she's here. Never mind.
We're doing it.
My Melissa was always my, how do I tell you this? Was always my alter ego in my marriage. That was her name.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she anything like me?
It was strictly for sexual purposes.
Oh well.
So, I wasn't going to tell you, but
I think you pivot that one and make it the Malika story.
I don't think I'll use that name again, but mind you, I have the image. Yeah. Yeah, and it stems from, it doesn't really stem from, but it stems from an appreciation of the Allman Brothers, Crossroads. Mm-hmm. Do you know that song?
I do, yeah.
Oh, you do? Your voice went. It's a great song. Are you pleading the fifth? Are you pleading the fifth a little bit?
No, it's just one of the privileges of growing up when music was actually good.
There's that.
Yeah.
All right, so you were saying something important about the dissolution of your parents' marriage and your mother feeling, even though he had his struggles were his own, she more or less took them personally. Is that what you were kind of saying?
Absolutely, yeah. So, mom was the breadwinner. I mean, working 7 days a week with that flex. That's kind of what happens, and there's something happens to the male ego when they're not the breadwinner. And that's changing. It's becoming more acceptable, but in my parents' kind of generation and in the mindset that they were indoctrinated, man was the breadwinner. So for him, it was difficult. And, the more he wasn't able to work, the more he started drinking. Because no man wants to be a house husband, or no man of that age really wanted to be a house husband. So when she finally decided she had had enough, I remember her telling me, I was 16, I learned to drive because she pretty much made me, because I really wanted to be driven around, but that's not how that works. But it was the first time I've really ever seen her, one of the first times I've really ever seen her cry, because she felt like such a failure. Women were taught to stay in marriages. Women are taught, the system teaches us to make it work regardless. You put yourself aside. You do what you can for your family. You do what you can to make sure you're supporting your husband, and you make it work. Divorce is a failure. And it's been the most freeing thing for her. As hard as it was to fight the system on that, it's been a really great journey for her and in her way of healing. So it's been a great thing for me to watch too, because it helped me to understand, my first marriage didn't work. Big BFD.
Yep.
And that's
CFP.
okay. Yeah. BFD.
Did you hear what I said? BFD, CFP.
I mean, it is what it is. It works.
Yeah, and my parents were fucking soulmates.
Yeah.
I did not get the lesson. But again, one would think a normal person unhappy in a marriage would leave it, not show signs of wanting to make it work. I'm sorry. I always digress to covert issues.
No.
How's your dad doing?
Oh, he's dead. So there's that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did he ever come back from alcohol abuse?
Oh no, he ended up drinking himself into diabetes, and diabetes ended up with amputations and kidney failure. And in his last moments, that with alcoholics, it's an awful disease. But what was recounted to me, because we were not on speaking terms at that point, was he was in a dialysis, getting ready to go to dialysis, and just absolutely started raging on the person that was hooking him up, and he had a heart attack and died on the spot. So it was literally like God saying, you know what, I've had enough of this, delete. And that was that. So he unfortunately never ended up coming out of that. And he really was a wonderful person. And as much as I joke about, things with him, he is somebody that I miss, because he helped form some of the ideas and things that I have. And it sucks, but it literally, it was like, yeah, we're done, delete.
Yeah. I don't know how much I want to say here, but and I'm sorry, but I'm glad you gave him some redemption.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, really a good guy. And we all go through hard times. And, it just speaks to mental health here. And everything that we've kind of been talking about is putting yourself first and realizing that you have a problem and getting yourself out of that problem. Even if it means kicking, screaming, clawing, duct taping somebody else so you can get there.
Yeah, I abused alcohol for about 18 years. And I had a drop to your knees. I ended up having an incredible spiritual awakening in 2022. Kundalini, if you're familiar, and led me away from a lot of things that I needed to be led away from. And I can drink, but it doesn't help anything.
Right.
If I'm out with the right person and I want to have a drink or two, I do it, but it doesn't, it just doesn't, it aids. And I dissociate now. I realize sober. So if I have a couple drinks, my brain's like gunning, where are we going? Where are we going? Because that's what it did for so long.
Yeah.
But, I alcohol, and I hesitate. Do I want to say it? My ex had an issue. I will never know the extent of the issue because I wasn't supposed to, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then when he finally left, which was interesting, because he'd still be on the couch. He would still be on the couch. Sociopaths operate with a different set of rules. He had issues with jobs. He had issues with depression. He weaponized depression. I bought it many times, if you know what I mean.
I do, yeah. Unfortunately, I do.
I think oftentimes depression's weaponized, and and I was very sensitive to not wanting, making the assumption it was going to be the loss of his sons and me. I was very sensitive, and it was a ploy. It was a strategy.
Yep.
And
controlling. Yeah.
And I bought in.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep.
So, yeah, the way that I got him out, and I don't know if I've ever told this story before. I looked at Brian, but he one fine day when I was really, really over it, and I was trying to time it around school and birthdays, and I looked at it. Huh?
Yeah. And life.
Yeah, I looked at him. I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he said, "I guess I'm leaving." And I said, "When?" and started laughing. And I made, he said something very cruel to try and rebound and give me a little, it's hard to explain. Yeah, that's when those personalities get really dangerous.
Yeah, they do.
And
yeah,
I didn't know any better. So
it's setting the boundaries,
Yeah, I mean, when the gig is up, man, the gig is up.
Yep. Yeah, it's like dealing with narcissistic people. Sociopath, narcissistic, they're kind of one and the same, but you set those boundaries and
yeah,
man.
if you familiarize yourself with the Redhead podcast, narcissism, I think, is something we're all capable of. Lying, cheating, stealing, whatever. And then there's antisocial. And the antisocials, by the way, the white collar psychopaths. Hello.
Yeah.
A sociopath, I've made the distinction before. A sociopath is kind of like a bar fighter. A psychopath kind of like a prize fighter.
Yeah. So
once you get up into that antisocial realm, they're kind of pulling the strings on all the narcissists. And it's an interesting dance to watch. But nobody distinguished for me the difference. He was diagnosed in 2007 as narcissistic and depressed. Lucky me. Woohoo! But I still that in 2007 I thought, okay, now we know what this is. We can do something about it, and I couldn't have been more wrong. And
right.
and I would have expected therapists, because I'm thick. You can't. Well, not all autistics are thick. I happen to be. There's this density. It's nothing that I want to change, and I'm not trying to berate myself, but I sort of needed somebody to give me a deeper level understanding of what was going on, because I think the therapist thought once I knew what I was dealing with, I could make a better decision. And unfortunately, I made the decision that now I knew what it was, I could do something about it. And boy, oof, that's when shit went really south.
Well, but again, that is the system. That is what we're told. We can, as women, we can fix stuff. Give us the problem, we can fix it. We can, when things go wrong, we are fixers. We are fixers by nature.
Yeah, when you say that, I wonder. It's not a disagreement. I hear you and I agree, but I don't feel like I felt that way.
Okay.
I feel like I felt, if you don't want to be in a situation, you leave it. That's what I did in business.
Right.
But it didn't translate to personal. No. So, I just, if you're not happy here, let's make a change. But by the same token, women and men who are left by people with narcissistic and antisocial personalities are devastated for years.
Yep.
I think he knew if he left me, I wouldn't be devastated.
The control factor of it.
I think I was a lot of fun.
I can't imagine.
I mean, it's not like, and anything that I did that wasn't fun, he brought on himself deliberately to make the case in front of our sons. And that's where reactive abuse comes in.
Yep.
I mean, I was explaining human decency to this man all the time.
Yeah.
And I only read about that, I don't know, in recent months. And then that's what resonated with me. How often, and that's that maturity issue that you brought up.
Yeah.
That, intelligent quotient.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional quotient.
the emotional intelligence. Yes.
Thank you. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Same thing. I gotcha. I hear what you're saying.
And I just, it was so second nature for me to just explain. When I write the book and I am writing Laugh So I Don't Die, I don't know if I told you that, I'll include examples, and not because I'm trying to make him or anybody else. I need people to wake up to. You can say trauma bonding, but it's not like saying domestic Stockholm.
Right.
You can say sociopath, but the examples help people go ring a ding. And that's why I still read about it, just to be able to have those ring a ding moments.
Because hearing the words themselves, it's hard to imagine, or it's hard to put yourself into those shoes just because you're not certain maybe what a domestic Stockholm is. But hearing the experiences, that's why I've started documenting my mental health journey on YouTube, and just walking through things and helping people understand what my depression looked like, how it wasn't normal. I've had a lot of really great response because it's brought that new level of understanding for people that may be going through something that they didn't realize. They thought life was just hard.
Amen.
And life is hard. It is so fucking hard some days. It's hard to get out of bed. But understanding that, number one, you're not alone and it's okay to talk about this kind of stuff. It's opened the world to a lot of other people that have been able to say, you know what, thank you for that.
And I think it's very, I'm sorry, were you done?
Yeah, thank you for vocalizing. And that's really all it comes down to right now. It's breaking that change in that cycle that we were talking about early. It starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with being able to talk about it, being able to write it, being able to, read it and hear it. And then people will start catching on and understanding, like, they're going through shit that they may not realize that they're going through.
And that's why my biggest concern is my sons being further distanced from me as a result of my story, and I have gotten over that to a large extent. To try and come up against the males in particular, although some females in my family, my ex's family, a situation I had with a roommate that I've talked about, I can't compete with that. So I just have to switch gears, heal myself, and hope, pray, have faith that, it changes, and then it be accepting if it doesn't. And I see a lot of online crap. I don't mean that it's a lot of being on the spectrum allows me to see consequence, cause and effect, pictures and patterns, and numbers that you must love numbers in finance. Numbers don't lie. I love them. So. Right. And there's predictable, whatever.
Yep.
So there's a lot of mishigash about not wanting, like, if you embrace my abusers, you're nothing to me. Well, what the fuck am I going to do?
Right.
They're not. I sent them to their father when he was abusing me. I sent them to my family when they were abusing me. I sent them to my in-laws when they were unkind to me. This is what I did. Yep. And the people who mistreated me, all they would have to say is, yeah, she's got a point. I was a rageful brother. I wasn't a great husband. And those people are so vested in isolating and alienating me. Yep. This is the turnaround. Yep. And that's like trying to turn around, the sun. Yep. It's interesting that I can remember when my family was doing things, and I'm not going to get into it, but I was like, man, they don't see cause and effect. They don't see cause and effect. And then I was like, when my mother was dying, I was like, I'm a very intuitive person, and there was one thing that was going on that I was choosing to be respectful of because of the big picture, but I was guided to know that that's going to bite you. That's going to bite you, and boy, did it.
Yep.
So I'm paying more attention to my intuition and my higher self and all the things that, I mean, sounds like where you're concerned, you know, you didn't get derailed enough that you lost that. And I'm just good for you, man. Cause I was not hopelessly derailed, but I got to tell you, it was a journey coming back.
In a way, I got lost. I mean, I was that Roomba spinning around. I questioned everything that I did. I questioned, you know, I'd started replaying conversations and emails and everything in my head over and over and over, and just got so lost in what I did that was wrong. And just life, you know, nothing in particular. And it would be conversations about what to feed the girls for breakfast. I mean, it bled into absolutely everything. And it was because I think it came in a lot from blaming the victim. And that was, I was able to catch that. And my journey didn't get to complete rock bottom where I was considering, you know, something unreversible. So I was able to catch it a lot earlier than it sounds like you did, which is great. But it comes from that change, you know?
And I think, and again, just spitballing here.
Yeah.
I would imagine if the journey is just you on you is very different than a journey that involves so many.
Yes. Me versus the world. Yep.
And I joke, but I'm serious. There's 65 people waiting to watch me fail.
Yeah.
And they've been indoctrinated into it. And I saw how my nieces and nephews and got indoctrinated into it. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I watch it now in playing out in relationships that I have. And it's like, holy shit, this cycle does not stop.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, I've got a really good sense of humor about it. I had something happen, often being in you know, comedic or whatever. People think it's still defense or coping, and I'm like, yeah. And then there's there's like so far beyond that. Like, if you don't do the work, I get it, but I think it's really interesting how I am very appreciative of what those comedic moments have done. They definitely have salvaged the extent of my brain injury. How could they not?
I mean, comedy is really the best form of therapy.
Right, but I mean like that pseudo bulbar effect where it's just like so traumatic, or so. I gave you the example of the computer, but the next two, that was kind of like my here you do this thing, don't be afraid of it, like from an intuitive perspective. And then I had it happen twice over horribly traumatic things that were made funny. And if I hadn't have had the 1-2 effect, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
so my goal, and I'm not saying, I don't know where I'm going with the comedic aspect. I have a feeling, but whatever. But I want to, when I talk to people comedically and also be talking about the real deep stuff, I want to get an audience laughing at the horrible things that have happened to them. I really think I can do that. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah.
I think that's possible. So it's like a group pseudo-bulbar experience.
I'm here for it, because I think that the laughter and seeing the funny, seeing that silver lining and things that you've gone through it's important.
I don't know how I've made jokes. So once I write the book, I want to be roasted about it. because you're not going to believe what I tolerated. You're not going to believe it. I mean, it's funny, but that's Stockholm.
Right.
And as I say, I think it's much easier for people to understand why people stay in bad jobs or whatever. And I just, it's funny, Melissa, what I didn't tolerate. You know what I mean?
You have to have some kind of I mean, gosh, you go through so much. You have to have some kind of boundaries. Period.
Well, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I do need to laugh more, and I don't mean that I don't already.
Right.
But it's like the Bill Murray school of thought. You know, when something makes you angry, make it funny.
Right. Yeah.
And I find myself doing that. And that was that person, ironically, when I was raising my kids, you know, and I had the double-barreled shotguns to my kids and head, and I was trying to, I just made all the stuff they were going through funny because it was so much. You know, I know why. I understand why I was hated. I had my younger son had tremendous struggle with Lyme's disease. Tremendous, had 4 co-infections, and you know, I didn't see that coming. And you know, I would advocate for him. He didn't have to go to class till like 9:30 in the morning because he had so many supplements, and they had to be spaced out. It was very, very involved. That almost put me over the edge. That treatment, I happened to find some good support there, and that was one of the first times in my life that I couldn't do the research because it was so far over my head. Mm-hmm. So anyway, long convoluted story short, you know, I just broken the cherry of the school on my older son. Now I've got this issue with Lyme's, and they had like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 kids out with tremendous Lyme's issues. And they had ways of handling it, the parents, and my way was different. And I said, I need you to cut out all his extracurriculars, just have the main subjects, you know, and they're looking at me like I'm smoking the green. And I'm like, oh, no, this is happening. This is what we're going to do. And he was an athlete. And I said, I want his after-school sports to count for gym. I don't want him the toll of gym in addition to his after-school sports. You with me?
Yeah.
And they told me, no. Your kid with Lyme's who can't get out of bed has to do gym in addition to be able to play sports. And I knew other districts had done it, and I knew it wasn't a big deal, and I knew they were making a big deal because it was me, and I knew all that. And my son just said, I'll play gym, like uncle, you know. My kids got it. Like, I wasn't fighting ghosts. I was fighting real shit. I was fighting the system constantly.
You were fighting the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all comes back to the system.
It really, really, really does. I'll say indoctrination, but yeah. I mean, it's just, I know what you mean when you say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do we do now? This is 5? Holy shit, that went quick. Did you have a good time?
It was fun. I love this.
Do you really?
I needed this. I didn't know how bad I needed this. I needed this.
Well, I won't tell you what I need. Anyway.
But are you going to change your name?
I want to be a man. I was devastated. There was a part of me that was like, man, oh man. Yeah, I always ask. I ask people who have their act together. Actually, that's what I'll say. Like when I find a man, I'm like, do you have any friends with their act together? And they go, define act together. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think banter with men in finance has been some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. I think people in finance are the funniest fucks on the planet.
It definitely can be, because we're so funny. We're one of a kind, and you have to think a little bit differently with what we're doing.
If you want, and only if you want, but I would love to tell more stories. I would love to tell stories about how I got some policies changes, some forms changed. Like I just have had my small amount of impact on things that were so in the system that I was just like, yeah, no, we can't be doing that anymore. That just can't be that can't be your fucking answer. Like on the phone going, no, that's not how this is going to happen. Have you ever been in those situations?
That's not who I was.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That's not who I was. I was the person. I was the rule. I am the rule follower. I've never been grounded. Okay.
Really?
This is just the person that I am. I am the rule follower. I'm the one that goes along, the person that cleans everything up, the kid gloves that makes everything sparkle. You know, the janitor coming behind everybody with the broom and the mop and
Wow.
making everything work. So I went along with everything and until the system failed me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always go around. Buddhist concept of go around. I just went around. I still do. I still, beat my own drummer, but I don't think about it. My mother taught me that. She taught me to question everything.
We've got to get to a place where kind of a combination of both, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I think, and I know we're over time, Brian. How far are we over? 32 minutes. I think that the feminine divine, and I'm not trying to bring too much spiritual energy into this, but I think, are you familiar with the story of Magdalene being left out of the Bible?
No, I'm not.
Well, I'm not trying to. I think it's time for feminine energy to help harmonize what men and women and everybody is going through.
I think you're 100% right. We need a little bit of both. We need some reason. We need some compassion. And there's plenty of guys out there that have that energy too. They just have to suppress it because that's what the system tells them to do. You know? Yeah. We should stop. But we're in touch. We're now in touch, and I'm so grateful to the person who connected us. He obviously got it. And he's I'm gonna get him to say fuck if it kills me, but really, I mean, there's a straight-laced person, like straight-laced. But again, one of those wonderful guys that he gets it. He brings some of that feminine energy and some of what we need to kind of cure this divide. Yeah.
We should next time work on what we think that means, what the feminine and what the masculine bring.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm submissive. I'm a sapiosexual submissive. Sapiosexual dominatrix - submissive. Yeah. All right, I'll stop. Amen. Thanks for playing. Amen. Appreciate this more than you know, because you brought, at least I fucking addressed business in one of these podcasts.
Yeah. I think it went great. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woo! Love it.
It'll air in about 6 weeks. I'll let you know when, and we'll be in touch before.
Okay. Sounds good.
Bye, Melissa.
Bye. Bye, Brian. See ya.
Thank you for listening and supporting Natural Born Redhead. If you follow the bouncing balls, please like and subscribe. If you know someone interested in sparing others grief and inciting joy, message me on Facebook or reach out via my website, Natural Born Redhead. J-Ma.